Welcome to Expert Talks with 𝐾𝐿 TV. In today's Executive Corner, we have Dr. Hemant Kumar Mulmudi, the founder and CEO of BM Renewables, who will share his insights on bringing renewable, clean energy to many businesses and households and how his innovation can make this transition more cost-effective. Welcome, Hemant. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, Sage. Thanks for the invitation and having me on this show.
Well, I'm sure the viewers are keen to hear your insights, so let's get started. BM Renewables produces halide-based perovskite photovoltaic cells and modules using a solvent-free approach. What is the company's core mission, please?
To speak broadly, actually, our mission is to provide safe, sustainable, reliable and innovative technological solutions in the realm of renewable energy sector. So especially with the production of flexible and modular solar cells. And we intend to integrate them with storage solutions such as batteries and green hydrogen. So as everyone's aware now, like climate change is a very big issue, and if we don't take action, then we are gonna be sorry later. So our company envisions to produce these halide-based solar cells. So everyone's, I think, more or less, most of them are aware of silicon-based solar cells, which are like on rooftops and so on. They convert solar energy to electrical energy, and then it can be fed into the grid, or it can be stored in batteries. So what this perovskite is a third generation kind of a solar material which absorbs light and can generate electricity. So fundamentally it is similar to silicon solar cells, like the silicon material itself, which absorbs energy and solar energy and generates electricity. But the key real difference is the way the processing of these halide-based perovskite materials is really easy. It can be scaled up very easily. And at BM Renewables, we envision to produce this without using a solvent, that is an organic solvent. So we are partnering with 𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐸, where Dr. Dinesh Tyagi is one of our kind of key members of this team when we started all this last year in 2020. He's a research scientist at 𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐸 International in Colorado in the States. So he said like, hey, look, we are also interested in having this idea, which is really good, and we are happy to participate in this project. So right now, our project is at infancy stage. We are looking at scaling up this process and so on. We have the proof of concept. We have protected our IP as well, and we have the know-how. So we look forward in the next few years to have a production line here in Australia as well. So that's kind of the overall the overview of the company.
And thank you for sharing your insights and the projects that raise the awareness of renewable energy in the community are to our advantage. In your opinion, what role does BM Renewables play in achieving the goal of decarbonisation?
Yes, so we are aware, like climate change, the major issue is the CO2 emissions or the carbon emissions, which come from electricity production, transport, and so on. So right now, I've pulled up some figures from DISER, which is Department of Industry, Science, Energy Resources here in Canberra. So on their website, it's clearly stated, like as of 2020, the total energy which is being consumed in Australia, it's still around 54% from coal, which again would produce greenhouse gases and which would enhance climate change, and 19% from gas, that's natural gas, so which is used for heating or even in cooking and so on. So that totally combines to around close to 75% of our electricity needs here. And the one thing which is good is our reliance on coal has come down. Back in 2010, it was 70%, and we have come down now to 54%. That's very good steps. So Australia is doing well in that segment. Like we're slowly progressing. I mean, it's good that not to have drastic changes. If not, then reliability becomes an issue, because we've seen that in Adelaide, in South Africa, in South Australia, they've had grid reliability issues and so on. So we are slowly transitioning to this renewable energy. So in 2020, the total solar production was 7.5%, and the wind production is close to 10%, which is really good. So, so at BM Renewables, what we intend to do is help aid in this decarbonization by producing more technical and innovative solutions in the realm of solar and coupled with hydrogen. Now, we also have I think 2030 the hydrogen mission, where we intend not only to have self-sustained hydrogen production, but we also intend to export this to other countries. So all this is happening. So at BM Renewables, we intend to do our part in delivering such solutions, especially in the realm of perovskites.
Well, when I turn the light switch on at home, I don't think about the coal being burnt in order to achieve the lighting. And many countries are working to meet the carbon reduction targets as set by the Paris Agreement. So what are the key strengths that make BM Renewables unique in the energy sector?
So at BM Renewables, our core team, first of all, is quite competitive, and we are quite competent in our subject areas. Like I myself have a PhD in solar, and Dinesh, Dr. Tyagi, who's leading a team now at Colorado, he is a champion of lithographic processes, and he has won several accolades in the printing industry. So he knows the know-how of how to actually make a printable solar cell, because he's been in the printing business for over 20 years or so. So that's one of our key strengths. And the other things is we also have the kind of infrastructure, the basic infrastructure which we need to get the proof of concept. And of course, at this point of time, we are also applying for several fundings and so on, and looking for collaborators, not only within Australia and the US, but also from Asia. We had some success last year, garnering a couple of collaborators from the Middle East. So I think to really put it in short, our key strength would be the core team which we have, the infrastructure which we have, the know-how and the knowledge which we have. And we we've been in the energy sector for the last 10 years and so on, so experience, and the partners we have. And of course, I should say at the moment, the past 2 years and so on, the Australian government also is having many schemes and initiatives to accelerate the uptake of renewable energy. So all these, I think, are quite important. We have not only private companies, but the public companies also have to show interest and say, hey, look, we are going to offer you subsidy, or we are going to give you some incentive if you show us this technology is viable, sustainable, and reliable, and it has some longevity. So all these things come into play.
Well, historically, clean energy seemed more costly, but it's great to hear the Commonwealth budget announced recently will be allocating a significant amount of funding for the sourcing of production partners in order to make renewable energy more accessible. We'll have to start to wind up the discussion soon, but before we do, you share a goal to provide safe, sustainable and innovative technological solutions in the ever-evolving energy sector. So what do you have in your near pipeline, please?
Yes, definitely. So in the near future, in the upcoming 1 or 2 years, we have some short-term goals, such as taking this proof of concept idea to the next level, like how ready it is on the technology readiness scale, to say, hey, look, we can make a module size of A4 sheet and so on. And then further, depending on client needs and so on, we are happy to produce the modules according to their requirements. So yes, we do have some ideas, and of course, if there are any more questions, happy to discuss them on email, or you can contact me on my phone number, which is provided on the website.
Excellent. And Hemant, could you please share for our viewers your company's website?
Yes, so it's the same as it's printed on my t-shirt here, bmrenewables.com.au.
Fantastic advertising.
All right,
Spot on.
Yeah, thank you, Sage, and thanks for having me and inviting me for this e-meet.
Well, that was a fabulous show. Thank you for making time to share your insights on Kalkine TV, Hemant, and keeping us up to date with BM Renewables' innovative projects. And viewers, thank you so much for your time watching. And as we say, stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.